Hello everyone, Rich Hagon, Brian David-Marshall with you to wrap up Worlds Week. 5 days ago, we promised you 5 of the greatest days in Magic history. How did we do?
We had an unbelievable tournament. We had 2 unbelievable tournaments, really. We saw France win the World Magic Cup. Raphael Levy, a Hall of Famer, leading a squadron of 3, the new guard of French Magic. We watched, speaking of the new guard, just unbelievable. We just watched Shahar Shenhar, all of 19 years old, with his 3 Grand Prix top 8 titles. But, take home his first trophy at this level of competition, become the world champion, still a teenager, world champion. The Israeli national champion, Shahar Shenhar, is your world champion. Unbelievable. Came back from 2 games down in what was deemed a 95%, impossible matchup by some of the best Magic minds in this room. And he came up with a plan and came out on top. It was unbelievable. What a great week.
So, how did we get there? Well, we began with 16 of the finest players in the world Wednesday and Thursday. They got whittled down to 4 across 4 formats. We were left with Reed Duke, Shahar Shenhar, Josh Utter-Leighton and Ben Stark. Then we switched formats for formats 5, 6 and 7. We did 71 national teams to get to this top 8. We began today with 4 great quarterfinals. Seems such a long time ago now. Well, it is. It's best part of 12 hours ago. Austria against Hungary, the Czech Republic against New Zealand, France and Belgium, the mouth-watering clash of the Titans, and Estonia against Iceland. And from the moment BDM that you saw Raphael Levy and co. take out the Belgians of Vincent Lemoine and Moraine Lambert, you had to feel that destiny was on the French side.
I really felt like they were staring at the finish line the entire way. We said we had them on that short list of teams coming in that, you really thought, yeah, this is a team that could win it. Despite maybe having less experience below the captain than some other teams had.
But they still had a Grand Prix winner in Timothée Simoneau. Stefan Subrier was there, and Jan Guthmann rounded out their squad. Hungary and the Czechs played in the semi-final. France beat Iceland in that semi-final. And then France took on Hungary, who had gone 1 better than their top 4 last year in Indianapolis at this event, with 2 of the same team, Gabor Kocic and also Thomas Nag, their national champion. But Raph Levy and friends would not be denied. It was a great final, and it was the French who complete, Mr. Historian, the every title you can possibly win in the game of Magic now belongs somewhere in France.
And they did it with a really cool deck, which is one of the best parts about it. There's something about seeing Raphael Levy succeed playing, a unique take on the format, mono green. Just tremendous.
You might have thought that was it, but once we got up to hour 44, we thought we might as well bring you the rest of it, and so we moved over to the World Championship Final 4. Well, it was a blue, white, red flash mirror between Ben Stark and Shahar Shenhar, and that went, well, pretty swiftly, all in all.
That actually went pretty crisply. We were, less than 2 minutes into the match, and we already had 10 lands in play on each side. They just whizzed through 10 turns apiece.
And then went, and now we'll start playing some other stuff. So that was one semi-final, which Shahar emerged from successfully. And then you had Reed Duke with his hexproof deck up against Josh Utter-Leighton with all the removal, that classic good stuff deck of Liliana of the Veil and Planeswalkers left and right. And that was a terrific set, all in all.
It was, and throughout it all, Reed Duke seemed to be taunted by his Leyline of Sanctity, a card that was obviously essential to the matchup, is just a nightmare for Jund-based decks, that are relying on Liliana of the Veil, relying on, pinpoint hand destruction, and he mulliganed a couple times early, didn't find the Leyline. A couple times later in the game, he would draw the Leyline on turn 2 when it wasn't of any practical use to him, but in Game 5, when it mattered the most, he opened up on a Leyline of Sanctity and was able to shut Josh Utter-Leighton's deck down from being able to interact with him.
So then we had a final. Reed Duke against Shahar Shenhar. It looked like Reed's to win. but that's why we play the games. 0-2 hole for Shenhar, 1-2, 2-2, and then that incredible moment when he realized at 19 he was champion of the world.
Yeah, it's funny. It would be easy to look at that 0-2 hole and go, oh, he's just being destroyed. But this was billed as such a bad matchup for him that when both of those early losses were within one card of being wins for him, it kept him focused and confident, and he was able to, win the back three. It was really an amazing display of magic by a very compelling young man.
5 incredible days of magic had to end sometime. They end now. We can do none of this without you, and we appreciate every single pair of eyeballs that comes our way. We thank you for being part of this momentous Worlds Week. We have some other thank yous too, to Bruce Town and the match coverage staff, to Trick Jarrett and all the text team bringing you the features there, to John Mortensen and the team here at the news desk, to Greg Collins, all the staff at Wizards of the Coast. But as we say, most of all, to the players who make this great game what it is, the best game in the world. From Worlds Week, for Brian David-Marshall and everyone here in Amsterdam, I'm your host, Rich Hagon, this final time, saying bye.